there, it's Carrie from Stamp with CT. Good morning and happy Wednesday. I will wait just a minute to let some notifications go out from Facebook so you can hop on and join us for the live video, or if you are catching this part of the video, you're probably watching the replay. So hello replay crew, we're glad to have you here too. Love coming and crafting and connecting with you on Wednesdays, just having a little fun. Today I have an awesome fun fold card that I think you're going to love, and it's an easy one to recreate. So we love giving you ideas to inspire you. Good morning. Hope you'll say hello as you pop in. Good morning. Well, our Texas weather is cooling down, y'all. Our weather report is we're just getting into the low 90s now in the evenings or afternoons, and the nice 70s in the morning. So it's been awesome. Good morning. I think I saw Becky. Good morning. Thanks for saying hello, and thanks for watching. Glad you're here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I know some others may be able to pop in as we go, or if you're watching the replay, that's great too. I know people are busy, and I'm just so grateful for you. So we are making a really cute fun fold card today. So I have a couple of samples for you. This one is using a polished pink card base. It has this little arm that comes across and opens like this. So super cute, right? Shiny embellishments that I'll show you in just a minute. And then this one I put on a Pacific Point card base, pulling those colors from the designer series paper. You guys know how I do that. Makes it so easy. Stampin' Up's coordination is just awesome. Coordination of products. So this, first of all, the embellishments are going to be our giveaway for today. And these are adhesive backed seasonal sequins, several different colors, really cute, really shiny. So we'll talk about that again in just a minute, but that's going to be our giveaway today. And then for the Merry Christmas on these two cards, I used the Santa Delivery stamp set for that cute little Merry Christmas. Thought that was awesome. And that's where I got the supplies for this card. Then this paper is absolutely adorable. It has a little bit of a vintage feel, and it is actually a host reward paper from the mini catalog. So let me show you where you can find that in the mini catalog, because it's, to me, it's a little bit hidden. It's easy to overlook, but in the very back cover, you will find this paper and a stamp set that are host reward items. So only people that host a party or their own order are able to order these two items. So the way that Stampin' Up works is when you place an order of $150 or more, you get host rewards. That's free product. So when you place a $150 order, it's 10%. So that means you have $15 that you can put toward any free product that you want. You can choose something from the clearance rack. You can choose something for the annual or mini catalogs. Anything that's available in our catalogs or online, you can choose up to that amount that you've earned. But let me tell you a little secret. Sometimes they'll let you go over just a little bit, and they'll let you pay the difference. So this is $18 for this pack of paper, 48 sheets of paper, because you get 4 of each design. So these are really great deals when you host. Now, if your order is under $150, I'd like for you to put in my host code each month, and what I do then is I'm able to combine those orders and kind of do my own party, and I'm the host, and then that way I'm able to get the I put that towards gifts for my customers that place orders, and also the prizes that we do each week here, because I want to give back And that just gives me a way to do that. Stampin' Up! Kind of helps me do that. And so if you're placing an order under 150, be sure to use my host code. If it's over 150, I want you to get the rewards. So just want you to know that this is one of the options. I'm being a little bit sneaky, and I'm going to show you the B side of this paper first. It is still really, really cute, but I really love the other side, y'all. So lots of different colors, lots of different patterns. It's a really fun paper pack. And like I said, 4 sheets of each of the papers in this pack. So 48 sheets. It's a really nice paper pack, especially when you get to put your host rewards towards it. Okay, let's flip this over and I'll show you the other side. So these papers coordinate with the different suites in the catalog. So that's really awesome. Gives you even more versatility with your creating. And you may have seen some of these papers being used in samples when you're looking online, when you're on Pinterest or Google Images, just when you're on Facebook. So really, really cute paper. Even some of the samples that I've shared from the swap use some of this paper. So you've seen some of this paper being used. And so this is the one that I used to create the sample today. Then this one we're actually going to use in stamp class. So I wanted to remind you, yesterday was the deadline to register for stamp class, but I will make an exception for y'all and I'll still let you in. I'm going to be prepping for it Friday, so that's kind of the drop dead deadline. I have to know Friday morning if you're either coming in person or doing it online. We have both options. Stamp class is just $20, or it's free with a minimum order, and you just get your packet with everything cut and prepped for you. This is going to be a really cute little treat holder. So this is the Celebrate Everything paper. And again, what I used to create our samples today. Now, I love that paper, but I wanted to do gnomes with y'all today. So that's what we're going to do to recreate this project and put a little bit of a twist on it. So I did use the Storybook Gnomes paper for these next 2 cards that we're going to be making together. And it is adorable paper. Y'all have seen this. We used it in the launch party, but it's been a little while since I pulled it out. And I was listening to, I think, a YouTube video the other day, and they were talking about gnomes and calling each other gnomies. And so it made me think of this paper. Now, I don't have the stamp set. LaDonna does, which kind of means I do too, if I remember to borrow it, but I didn't. So I pulled in one that I had already on my table doing some other projects. And this is going to work really well with our gnomes. So super cute stamp set, and it's got some beautiful images. We're just using a couple sentiments. Okay. So I will, of course, go in and I will edit the description of the video so that you'll have all of the supply measurements, okay? I also used today the Layering Circles dies and, of course, my Stylish Shapes dies. Love those dies. They really are a workhorse in my craft room. If you don't have them and you're looking to purchase some dies that are super versatile that you'll get a lot of mileage from, highly recommend both of those sets. They're really, really awesome. So let me tell you what the measurements are. Let me grab my notes. So we have a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, and it is cut at 5.5 by 6 3/4, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. And then we've got this piece of cardstock, and it's just kind of a scrap. And we'll talk as we go because we're going to put a little twist on this project, not do it exactly like I did the other. But there's lots of different ways that you can kind of, you can mix this up. You don't have to follow these measurements exactly. We'll talk as we go though. So this is just 3 3/4 by 1.5 inches, and I scored it at 1/2 inch on that end. And then the Designer Series paper, again, we'll talk about how you can do this because I'm actually doing something a little bit different with these cards than what I did with our samples. So we'll go ahead and burnish those score lines right quick. Now normally the first thing I do is I put my inside panel inside the card, but this time I need to work on my little arm here. So that's the first thing we'll do. I thought what I could show you too, I've got this one oriented where it opens to the right. We're gonna open this one to the left. So again, lots of options with this fold. So let's put some liquid glue here, just a touch on this piece. And I want to make sure that I've got it going right. And I'm just going to pop this on this arm to cover this up. And then while I let that dry, I'll come in and put this Designer Series paper over on this panel. Now I cut this at 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. On my sample, I went ahead and completely covered up the cardstock on that side. This time, I want to make sure I've got that right. Oops, I almost put it on upside down. This time, I want to make sure that I have a little bit of a border. So, uh-oh, there went my paper, so I was going to show y'all. Fan just blew them off. Thank you, Oliver. So I wanted a little bit of a border, so I did 5 1/4. Okay. So now we've got this arm that we're going to put in, and I've actually lost my gnome. There he is. I want to get my placement here, because I'm going to put my gnome right down there. So I want to bring my arm up a little bit more. This one is more centered. This time I want the arm up a little bit more, so I've got room for my gnome. Let's take this back out. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of liquid glue here on that tab. Now you could wrap it around the back if you wanted to. I think it gives you a little bit more of a clean edge if you do it this way. I'm lining it up with the edge of the cardstock. Making sure I've got that going right. So we'll give that glue just a second to dry. And so it's already coming together really nicely. Okay, so there is the basics of our card fold. Let's go ahead and put this inside panel. Now if you wanted to stamp on the inside, you certainly could. I'm kind of keeping it simple. That's really how I roll. I like making projects that I know that you can recreate in your craft room. I love really intricate projects as well, and beautiful fancy projects, but I know that a lot of times we don't have time for that, and it can be a little bit intimidating. I'll work on that fold a bit, burnish those folds. Now, I should be able to put this little guy right down there and put a little bit of glue on him. You could probably pop him up too if you wanted to. Went ahead and fussy cut that to have it ready. I think that the dies, now again, I don't have them, but I've borrowed LaDonna's before. I didn't cut any of the DSP out, but I think that some of the dies cut at least some of the gnomes. Now I've got some different, a scallop, and then I've got a circle, and then my sentiment that I went ahead and stamped using Bermuda Bay ink. Just thought that would kind of help make that pop. This one is a really fun card. So just a little hello there. Looks cute with that little gnome. And we're just layering that up. Just really like the look of that. So look how quickly this card comes together. Of course, I have all the pieces cut, but it's just a super easy little card. Now I want to bring some dimensionals in. And I'm just going to put them on the arm, and that's probably more than I need, but can you really ever have too many dimensionals? Get those backings off. And we'll add our sentiment. So I added that to the arm versus putting it on the circle just so that I don't go too far with it. And there you go, my friends. That is our first card, our little gnome card that says hello there. So again, this one is oriented that other way from our sample, but it works that way too, doesn't it? Super cute. Okay, going to set that aside. I don't know that I'm going to be able to reach my papers that fell. Let me see if I can. I think the other one slid under. Okay, we'll go ahead and make our other card. And again, did some prep work ahead of time just so that this video is not incredibly long. Now, same measurements, 5.5 by 6 3/4, scored at 4 1/4. Burnish that good. We've got our little arm here. And as I said earlier, depending on the size of the focal image, you can cut this arm down. You could make it wider if you wanted to. You've got so many options. You could also leave a smaller border here where you're cutting the front of the card base, or you could make it even longer and just have a small strip. Whatever you want to do. You may have a little scrap of paper or part of a piece of cardstock that you want to turn into a card. So I'll share the measurements, but remember that you could cut this down, make this wider, whatever works for you. Okay, so again, I have this little strip of Designer Series paper, and this is still the Storybook Gnome paper, and it is so cute. So just, I want to think about how I'm doing this. I believe what we're going to do is have our card open. Yeah, okay. Just figuring out what I'm doing here so I don't end up with it upside down. Glue this on. And I chose on these little arm mechanisms to completely cover the cardstock. So it just shows the Designer Series paper, but you could put a border on it as well. Okay, so we have got another piece of this pretty Designer Series paper, and we'll just add it. And again, I did a border, but you can cover that entirely if you want to. So many options. And if you really worked on your measurements, you could get things where you even matted this piece of Designer Series paper so that you're just cutting a piece of that's 2 inches of Designer Series paper if you're trying to stretch your paper and if you're trying to make multiples. Okay, so this time, maybe we'll move him over here, because what I have in mind is using this circle and then adding my gnome over to the edge. So I kind of do need to put it more in the middle this time. A little glue on our flap, so there's that little 1/2 inch tab that we made. And I'm bringing that right to the edge of the card base and giving that a chance. Giving that a little chance to dry. And then we can put our inside panel. Right right over that. But if you forget, if you put your inside panel, don't stress about it, because you can bring that flap just right over the edge. You could just glue it on the back. No worries, there's always a fix, right? Okay, so there's our card. And again, we'll work on those folds. Of course, after it runs through the postal system, it will definitely be cooperating, won't it? Now, because of how I did my sentiment, and this one says a heartfelt thank you, I think I'm going to bring this circle over to the left a little bit, so I've got plenty of room to put my gnome. In my mind, when I was creating this card, I was going to put the gnome on the inside kind of peeking out, and I just didn't like that. I'll show you. I just didn't end up liking that. Like I was going to have him back here. Didn't care for that. So instead, I've got a little bit more room now. Whoops, let me put the gnome. So that's what I was going to do. Didn't really care for that. So I'm going to put him over here, but I needed just a little bit of extra room. So that's why I moved that sentiment over a tad. And then that way, I've got room to add my gnome. We'll give that a second to dry while we're putting our dimensionals on. So y'all let me know what you think, if you've made a card like this before, or if you'll give it a try. I hope you will. I got that too far down. No worries, we'll just move it. I don't want to adhere my card closed. Okay. So now we're ready to add our sentiment. And I will put that right about there. Oh, that turned out cute. So something a little bit different. You could certainly do some stamping there if you wanted to. Maybe some snowflakes. There's lots of snowflakes in this paper. I don't know if I have that super straight, but it's gonna work. So lots of other things you can do. Again, this leaves you just a little bit of room to write. You could always put another piece of basic white there if you needed more room. So that's our two gnome cards. Now, they're not quite done, are they? We need to come in here with an embellishment, and this one is called the Fine Sparkle adhesive backed gems. And let me bring them up to the camera. They are very sparkly. Love them. So let's add some of those because we love our sparkle, don't we? Just put a couple of those on our sentiment. I think I'm going to be real, I'm just going to go with the blue. Be real matchy-matchy with this one. And maybe we'll mix it up with the other one. Oh, that one stuck to my finger. So we'll be matchy-matchy on that one. And this one, let's see, let me get a blue one. One of the larger ones. I see other people on videos and they never have the troubles that I do with gems sticking to them and everything, but that's just me. But the Take Your Pick tool does make it a lot easier. Use a couple of those little ones to mix it up on this one. Oh, I'm really happy with those. Super, super cute. Our little gnome cards. Y'all let me know what you think. If you have a favorite, tell me which one. I love that you've got so many options with how you can orient these. It makes it look completely different. So lots of fun. Okay, tell me which one is your favorite. I always like that when you guys vote which gnome card you like better. I don't have any Happy Mail today, but I do have our giveaway. And like I said, I've got a package of these awesome sequins to be our giveaway, and that's the one that I used on our sample card. Super shiny and fun, so I will be drawing a name next week on our Facebook Live video at 10 a.m. Wednesday. So if you would like to be entered for a chance to win these sequins, leave me a comment. You can also share the video. I've been getting lots of comments, lots of shares, and lots of likes and hearts, and I so appreciate that. It lets Facebook and YouTube know that you like the content that I'm putting out there and that other people need to see it. So I really appreciate your help with that. Trying as usual to grow my business and reach more people. So I love that you guys are helping me and partnering with me on that. Thank you so much. So that's why we do the little giveaway each week. And then last week our giveaway was the sparkly glitter ribbon, and our winner is Sharon Patillo. So congratulations, Sharon. I will get this ribbon to you. I know I've got a class packet that'll be going out soon, but I'll include that ribbon for you. Congratulations. Sharon has been stamping with me for a really long time. She and LaDonna were probably my first customers when I became a demonstrator, and we even crafted together before then. So thank you, Sharon. I was excited when I drew your name. Okay, my papers that were flying all over. Let me show you what I have here. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Stampin' Up! Has branded merchandise, and so there are some awesome tumblers in the new in colors. I'm trying to think what else. There's things that demonstrators can order that are like logo items, and we call them supply items, and we can order them and customers cannot. But these branded merchandise items, customers can purchase too. And Stampin' Up! Just released a couple new ones, and I wanted to share them with you. I have one of these headed this way, and I'm so excited about this little plaid mug. So this is the first one. And then I don't know that I would get much use out of this little toboggan here in Texas, but I know I have viewers from all over the US now, and so up north I think this would be so awesome to have this little toboggan. Looks really cute on her. And so I just wanted to share with y'all that we have the branded merchandise. So if you go to my online store and you just type in branded, it should bring up that page and you can kind of scroll through and see what all we have. I know the tumblers, they're glittered tumblers, they're the in colors, and I have one in Tahitian Tide, and it's awesome. It keeps my drink cold at work all day long. I have ice in it even at the end of the day, so it's an awesome tumbler. Those are so super popular. So just take a look. I'll put a link in the description of this video too, so you can check that out. Just never had really shared that with you. It's something fairly new and wanted to share that as well. Well, we hope you have a great day. Hope you enjoyed our video. Oliver gets a treat after the video is over. So he has been really good today. So we're about to go get Oliver his treat, and we will see y'all next week. Thanks so much.